Cars will remain banned from this area of 14th Street for the next 18 months. Drivers who violate the ban will be slapped with fines of up to $250. These over 7,000 people gathered here say enough is enough, that they want Indian Prime Minister Modi to get India immediately out of Kashmir. All of the changes will take place over the next month. Enforcement will begin 60 days after the speed limit goes into effect. CAMCO hopes the United Nations takes immediate action to get Boko Haram out of Africa because Africans cannot do it by themselves. It's been a beautiful day out here on the boardwalk. Parents, children, and dogs have all been out here tasting different varieties of honey. I'm standing here in front of 2119 Utica Avenue, the building where 3 people were shot. Daniel Solomon walked into the second floor of this building and shot his ex-girlfriend, Janet Duncan, and her new boyfriend, and then turned the gun on himself. The homeless population in New York City has always faced Mother Nature, extreme weather. Now they face another threat, human violence. Today, community activists and leaders are calling on Mayor de Blasio to guarantee the safety of homeless people in the city.
If you want to end homelessness in this city, it starts with safe, affordable housing.
Instead of the mayor building more jails in each city, each borough, he should build permanent housing.
Every speaker at the rally stressed that affordable housing is the solution, not homeless shelters.
You're paying up to $6,000 per month. Now, that's insane that for a bed and a locker, a toothbrush, a toothpaste, and a towel, that shelters are being incentivized to have these situations play out where they are.
Council member Stephen Levine says increasing police presence in Chinatown doesn't keep people safe.
We need public policy to address this moral issue of our time. The hotels, the cluster sites,
Got to go.
gotta go.
Gotta go.
The city-run shelters, the
Gotta go.
DHS-run shelters, gotta go.
Protesters say there is a reason homeless people choose unsafe streets over shelters.
Well, first of all, you have to see why the shelters are not working. There are a number of people who are out living on the streets and they refuse to go to the shelters.
There needs to be permanent housing, period. Stop putting people in shelters. Stop making people pay $900 for a bed.
Everyone who protested here said the only solution to keep the homeless safe is to provide them with permanent, affordable housing. They said they would continue protesting until the mayor acts. On the steps of City Hall, Florence Mafomemeh, New York City News Service. If you will be visiting Times Square around Broadway this holiday season, get excited because the place is getting a new facelift. Times Square Alliance is unveiling its first display of large Broadway show-themed snow globes called Show Globes in Times Square.
Someone in our team came up with this idea of show globes as opposed to snow globes in the middle of Times Square. And of course, you've already seen people love it. There's a lot of people that love each one of these shows. These are some of Broadway's most loved musicals.
The Show Globes designs were inspired by 4 Broadway shows that included Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Dear Evan Hansen, The Lion King, and Wicked.
My inspiration for the snow globe was to bring to Times Square, a place where the entire world comes together to find their voice and be a community, a message of inclusion and hope for the future.
The actors of Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, one of the shows chosen for the designs, are amazed.
I've been doing Broadway shows since 2000, and I've actually never seen anything like this in Times Square before. To see my face every time I walk to work is just,
overly excited.
And to have that represented in Times Square so that people who come to visit New York City to see Broadway shows, they can see us actually in Times Square. That's just such a great honor.
I didn't know that it rotated. That's amazing.
Visitors and local New Yorkers love what they are seeing in the heart of the city.
Right now, these globes are like a pop, you know, like this is the biggest snow globes I've ever seen in my life. My goodness.
The president of Times Square Alliance says these show globes are meant to be a gift to visitors in New York City and especially Times Square during the upcoming busy holiday season. And they plan to keep them here to December 26. In Times Square, Florence Mafomemeh, New York City News Service.
Welcome to 219 West. I'm Sean Sanders.
And I'm Florence Mafomemeh. The Stonewall riot served as a foundation for the gay rights movement, not just in the United States, but around the world. When we come back, how members of the transgender community navigate their faith and fluid identities. When the Beth Simchat Torah Synagogue in Chelsea held its first convening or gathering for people who are transgender and Jewish, the goal was to explore and celebrate what it means to be both. Lawmakers are trying to cut the cord on those pesky robocalls. They are introducing a bill that would be the toughest ban on those calls in the nation. We are following breaking news out of California. Wildfires near Los Angeles are making a dangerous situation worse for millions of residents. The governor has declared a state of emergency as weather reports predict more bad news. We've all experienced a phone battery dying at some point, or the quality is just shot in comparison to when we first got the phone. Why do iPhone users experience this when new phones come out? New York City News Service reporter Sean Sanders is live at the Apple Store in Midtown Manhattan with details. You've sponsored and passed so many bills. You've announced many others. You're still working so hard. Looking at what you've done, many people look at you like the rising star in the Democratic Party.
Oh, thank you.
Are you eyeing the White House in the future?
I'm not eyeing the White House. I'm not eyeing the White House.
That's not true. Many people do say so, but in the end they jump in.